Response video to a Rizzle Dizzle video. Yeah, it's one of the Glibites. So another, what is this? I'm too cool to take the internet seriously or anything seriously. That's right. That's a sign of being cool. Does look a little fat, doesn't he? Yeah, he's a little fat. Anyway, let's play.
Well, I'm out of booze. I'm a little bit bored. True Blood, for whatever reason, is taking...
Yeah, true. So the same old complaints of the whatever you are. Anyway, go on.
Fucking forever to download. So I thought for a video, I'd do a response to the vegan atheist. And he's doing a response to the amazing atheist. I'll probably...
Yes, it's all very lame. Yes, it is. It's all very lame. Okay, I can see the point. Okay, the names are lame.
be defending the amazing atheist, but mainly just because I...
Yeah, mainly because you're just a selfish cunt like him. Yeah, mainly. Yes, okay, we got it. You don't do much thinking, right? Because that's hard on your self-esteem. Yeah, you realize you're an asshole, and that sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, oh.
I gotta figure somebody called the vegan atheist is going to be the world's most insufferable douchebag.
Well, wait a minute. The world's... No, that would be... Wait a minute, that might be you. Oh, okay. Rizzle Dizzle. Somebody called Rizzle Dizzle might be a douchebag. Ah, let me think. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't have to think. It's amazing. I didn't even have to think about that one. No, Rizzle Dizzle douchebag. Yeah, that all goes together.
Second thought, not the world's most, because if there was somebody called the...
Rizzle Dizzle.
Vegan atheist feminist... they would be more insufferable.
Oh, yes, it's just disgusting that people talk about, like, being treated like human beings first. Yeah, human being first. Ooh, scary, scary.
Well, and if they were called the vegan atheist feminist who drives a Prius, then they would just be the most intolerable person.
Yeah, it's whatever. The Rizzle Dizzle sitting in the corner going, I'm going to snark at you. Yeah, no, that wouldn't be insufferable at all. With a cigar. Tipperillo. It's not even a real cigar, right? Candy cigar. Well, you know, candy in the sense that it's, you know, not a badass cigar.
Who ever lived. Irregardless, fully, here we go.
Yes, well, now this is where I will come back soon. Yeah, I'll wait till he's talking again. Yeah, that'll be the fun part. Maybe.
No one is immune from criticism. This week, I take the amazing atheist to task on his irrational defense for eating animals.
I won't make fun of you for saying irrational, but right there, that whole you need a defense for eating animals, don't like your tood.
Your tood. Yeah, right. Yeah, you don't have to defend something that looks pretty bad, right, on the surface. I mean, pulling out its guts and the blood and the yelling and the screaming and all that stuff and cutting beaks off and shitting... putting proby things in and doing all kinds... No. Yeah, justification, mustification. That's for thinking people, justifications. And gee, it's just asking so fucking much, isn't it? Yeah, really. Anyway, we'll wait till the next bit of shit.
The Amazing Atheist, also known as TJ, is an infamous atheist vlogger who I find antagonistic, vulgar, and infinitely opinionated, often to his own detriment.
To his own detriment? So, he sits at home all day. He doesn't have a regular job. He's not, like, laying bricks or shit like that. He sits at home eating bacon and donuts, going through the internet, and then ranting about stuff he finds on it. Pretty much he has the perfect life for him. He's found a way...
Right, and so, like, if he was selling 5-year-olds to pedophiles... Oh, it's the perfect life for him. You know, because he does go that way a little. Yeah, you know, really, just justify anything and everything. And yes, what the guy said was kind of stupid. He's infinitely opinionated. That's a critique to his own detriment? What the fuck does... What, having opinions is to your detriment? That's kind of retarded, I have to concede.
To get that. So, when you say to his detriment, you're obviously fucking retarded.
Well, he obviously says some things not very well, that's for sure, but gee, You're making a video about a subject, aren't you? Oh yeah, that's right. It should be about the subject. Yeah, it should be. Alright, wait for the next little bit of fun.
Don't either love him or hate him. You know, he makes some good points from time to time. Not nearly as funny as he used to be. And, you know, I could take him or leave him. I guess all the saturated fats from the meat that I eat are just clogging up my emotion receptors or some shit.
I don't know. Yeah, so let's just make jokes upon jokes upon jokes, right? And we could do that about any subject of some sort of civil rights discussion in all of history, and blah, blah, blah. So you really think that people like 500 years from now, or 1,000 years from now, or 10,000 years ago, now in some sort of evolved culture, would sit there and look at the indelicacy of your delicacies as reasonable? Oh yes, let's incarcerate sentient beings, torture them, and then eat them. I mean, you know, frankly. I mean, what else has to be said? I mean, obviously you just don't think much. Obviously. Shit.
Demand for their bodies and secretions, they are somehow privileged and better off than the countless other species on the planet?
Well, obviously he meant in an evolutionary sense, in the terms of how far they spread, how many of them produce offspring, yada yada yada.
You're right. And how much of our real life, our real civilized life, has anything to do with playing evolution? Are we really going to go there? Are we really going to play evolution? No, we play a much more sophisticated game than what can I get away with to advance my genetic code. We have ethics that are a little more complicated than a fungus or an AIDS virus, because we have brains, but unfortunately too many people don't use them for anything. It's like, you know, toilet water up there or something.
Now evolution makes no moral judgments because it's not a little bitch.
Right, so you're a little bitch if you're making judgments about the sensibility, efficiency, logic, or anything about being selfish and a cunt. So if you're a nuclear plant designer and you can figure out a way to make a few $100,000 in graft by shortcutting a few fucking safety regulations, go for it, buddy. That's what Rizzle Dizzle would suggest. Because fuck, who cares? It's somebody else who'll pay the price for it. They're not going to build one in my backyard.
Be considered better than a smaller species due to the better chance for species survival.
Oh, so you did grasp that he was speaking in an evolutionary context, but just, you know, took the opportunity to talk about the right.
Well, again, what's the fucking point of talking about a context that's idiotic? Let's talk about the perspective of an AIDS virus, and let's see if we can mimic the intelligence of an AIDS virus. I mean, who would do that? Who would waste anybody's time saying, look, let's quit talking like intelligent, perceptive humans, and let's think about it from the perspective of a cockroach? Who the fuck does that? Oh, wow. Atheists on the internet.
It's of individuals, even though you're talking about animals who don't really have rights because they're not citizens, and
okay, they're not citizens, so rights are only something you give to people you've declared a citizen, and so if they're not declared a citizen, they're not citizens, and citizen means what? White guy with way too many teeth? What the fuck is that shit? It's an arbitrary standard. You can make a citizen anything, anytime you want to, okay? Merely by saying, well, what counts? Oh, the fact that it can feel and suffer. Yeah, I guess that means it should be entitled to something, like not being tortured for no good fucking reason because some turd just says, I want-y.
they can't contribute to society, you know, because the flip side...
Well, guess what? Contributing to society has nothing to do with how we treat people decently here. There's lots of people ain't making no fucking contribution, and we're giving them lots of fucking goddamn help because we recognize that they're feeling things and they'll suffer without it. So again, fucking fail argument all over the place, but what else is news? It's an atheist on the internet.
Of rights as responsibilities, and you're basically just pissing and moaning and whining like a little bitch about things that make absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Whatever that makes. Oh, it makes no sense to say what makes me matter. Alright, yeah, the fact that I can suffer, that sure seems to me pretty fucking important. That's the one I want exemptions from. That's the stuff I pay. That's what they have drugstores for. They're basically, can I avoid suffering stores? Because people really want to avoid suffering. No, that's crazy talk. Fuck you.
Even though you understood what he is saying to begin with. I shouldn't have interjected before or now, but I'm not going to take that out. Keep going.
Whatever that is, exactly, you shouldn't have made this video because it really does reveal the fact that you're just a selfish cunt. And nothing else. Yeah. Okay. Next.
To the human context and see if we find the argument satisfying.
I'm sure you do find it helpful in reinforcing your own worldview. You know, well, let's talk about these animals like they're people. Now I realize...
That's not what he's doing, right? Well, so again, just cheat the argument. I won't make the argument for the guy, but gee, he's not really saying treat them as if they're people. He's just saying, what are do the humans really need to do it? And certainly the animals have these qualities that are the substance of the qualities that matter to me. I mean, what, you want me to lie and say it doesn't matter to me if you torture me? That would be silly. Shit.
People are animals, but, well, I care about humans because they can actually appreciate that shit.
Oh, that's what matters. Somebody has to say thank you, or else it doesn't. I ain't doing it. If the old lady don't give me a fucking chocolate chip cookie after I help her across the street, I ain't doing it. Because I have to get something back. What's in it for me? 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 Oh yeah, that's such a fucking expansive and evolved philosophy. So impressive. God, I hate humans.
You can care about animals all day and all night, and, you know, maybe they'll...
It's not about caring, it's about respect, fucker. Right? And you just don't respect anything. Okay? Because you're just such a selfish cunt. And a liar. You know, compulsive liar. Let's not forget he's a compulsive liar.
Appreciate it a little, but they won't understand the extent to which you're caring for them.
Right, and so because of that, let's just throw all the retarded people into work camps and grind them up when we're done. When we work them to death, then we can just grind them up in a big meat grinder and feed them to the pigs, and then we can eat the pigs. Oh, that sounds like a brilliant idea. Oh, man, there's probably something wrong with it somewhere.
They're unappreciative bastards. I'm just saying...
Oh yeah, that is just so fucking interesting as a philosophical counter-argument. They don't appreciate the gift of me giving them fundamental respect. So fuck them, they don't get any. Shit. I mean, by those standards, every kid would be dead by 6 years old.
Altruism has a selfish aspect. I'm not going to care for something that won't...
I'm not asking you to fucking care. I'm asking you not to torture them for no good fucking reason. It's a little bit different.
Care for me back.
Would it be better?
Gee, I mean, you just care for me back. I mean, God, does that smell? Phew. Ew. 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 Ew.
To have 15 billion people on Earth who struggle to survive and maintain healthfulness.
Wow, we didn't get far into that analogy before I saw the gigantic fucking flaw. Those animals aren't struggling to survive, dumbass. They're being forced to survive. They're doing the exact motherfucking opposite of struggling to survive. They have humans bringing to bear all of the technology they have to keep those motherfuckers alive. So...
Well, I mean, that doesn't even make sense, does it? I mean, is that really sensible? Obviously, they're being forced to exist, but slaves did struggle to survive, even though they were being forced to live in a circumstance, so that's not much of an argument. Oh, what was I expecting? It's Rizzle Dizzle. Why was I expecting something intelligent or useful? Oh, my mistake.
Why don't you just try to not be so fucking stupid? Continue.
Oh, I mean, really, that was about as... Well, anyway, move on. I mean, it was only like 7 seconds of the other guy's video and he interrupted. I mean, shit.
Then why would that not be the case in the human context?
Problem being that human beings are reproducing willy-nilly without regard for resource constraints. So one might argue if it's good enough for us, it's definitely good enough for the animals, right? I mean, you don't see...
You know what that means? I mean, the question is it's apparently the Amazing Atheist was arguing that farmed animals, like if you had a whole lot of slaves, you had like if say America just kept slaves for the last 200 years, and we had a whole bunch of them now, like 10 billion of them, that somehow it would be a great success story for slaves. You know, they would be big evolutionary winners. These are slaves, and there's a lot of slaves. Yes, it just doesn't work. You can't win as being like, oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of pawns on the board. That's really cool. Oh, wait a minute, that isn't cool. That's not a very good thing to be, is it? No, it's not a good thing to be.
People going, oh, we gotta limit our numbers. They should, but they don't.
Well, lots of people do, but they don't do it aggressively enough. Because they're all wimpy, or they're time wasters like you. There are people who don't do much thinking, don't do much give-a-shitting, and they're just sitting there saying, where's my video game and my smoothie and my blah 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 and my drugs and my alcohol and whatever else I need to get through my day. These are just selfish, fucking useless cunts. Okay, you just don't do much thinking.
We're not gonna do it for ourselves. Why the fuck should we do it for them?
Well, that's just such a stupid... Again, it's just glib. I mean, he doesn't believe that, right? But, I mean, he's just saying it for the sake of saying it, right? All right, yeah, if we're making a mess for us, we're letting the poor destroy us. Why don't we let the poor destroy the whole fucking planet? Or why don't we let... You know, it's just a stupid argument. Ugh, I hate this. I hate people. Well, these aren't really... I don't have to call them people. I just call myself something else. Poolah. Yeah, I'll be a poolah. It's okay. I mean, what kind of species was Yoda? Like, was he like a Yadad? Or something? I never knew. Obviously, they didn't do very well, and you know, there wasn't too many Yodas running around. Never saw like a Mrs. Yoda. Hooker Yoda. Anyway, I'll be back.
Is an attempt to dismiss vegan arguments by aligning the concern of other animal species to the free love and heavy drug use of the 1960s.
You should probably thank him for that, because I'd much rather hang out with a hippie than a vegan. I mean, drugs, free love...
Okay, just ignore the argument, right? The argument is that TJ is just trying to use symbols that aren't representative of reality, okay, to malign and impugn the character of somebody who would choose not to eat animals for ethical reasons. And so instead of dealing with inaccurate portrayals, you're just going to do some more inaccurate portrayaling? Oh, yeah, that's right. You do suck. You suck, you suck, you suck, you suck.
I don't see the downside of that. I mean, yeah, hippies can be a little bit smelly, but then you got your vegans, they're all like frail and...
Yeah, okay, right. So this funny story. And your non-vegans are all like pudgy and fat and have man boobs, I'm sure. Yeah, sure.
Like talking about moral shit. I mean, it's just fucking...
Moral shit. Let's all make fun of it all. Ha ha ha. Because we're too cool for planet Earth. Nope.
I can't stand it. Most people can't. Give me a hippie over a vegan any day of the week.
Yeah, give me a hitman who knows how to do his job and does it. Oh yeah. Well, anyway, that's a whole different subject, right? Yeah.
And what he was doing was, he wasn't making an argument. He was mocking you for your fuzzy fucking thinking. Go on.
Yeah, well, that really wasn't what he was doing. He was making a bad argument intended to just weasel out of the fact that he doesn't have anything rational to say, like you. Shit.
One who values reason and evidence.
See what I'm saying? At least hippies aren't contemptible fucking nerds. You, sir, are a square.
Oh, gee, that wasn't much. Alright. Sorry to waste your time for that.
Where they call home, what they eat, and how long they live.
Well, honestly, a drug-addled hippie could make a better argument than that. Let's see, it can choose yada yada where it lives. Well, I'm not sure if you're aware of this.
Look, the point is that TJ is saying, look, there's 8 billion chickens in the world. Look how successful it is when the original chicken is not very successful. And that argument is just insane if you show the chicken and how it's living. It's living in a little fucking cage with its beak hacked off and a bunch of its own feces, you motherfucking cunt. That's not the definition of success, where the wild chickens are, yeah, they're doing that breathing at least clean air thing. They don't have their fucking nuts hacked off or their nuts fed to them every fucking goddamn day. I mean, goddamn. I mean, it just sucks that you people just suck so fucking much you just can't take anything seriously. It's all a big fucking goddamn joke. I just can't wait till you get yours, motherfucker. I really just can't wait till it's your turn, shithead. Oh, fuck.
But animals tend to thrive in a specific type of ecosystem, so, I mean, I guess it could choose to live somewhere else, but then it would die. Not make any more choices. Who to mate? Well, there's the mates within range, the ones that find them attractive. I mean, I guess there's a little bit of choice. When they die, are you the stupidest mother...
Yeah, well, whatever. Making comparisons between natural horrors and human-imposed horrors is probably a lame thing to do, but that's what tree-hugger types do. So yeah, they make silly arguments about how great it is to be out in the rain and shit. Yeah, it does suck to be out in the rain and the weather, and it does suck to have hierarchy and pecking orders and having to kill everybody else and all that kind of shit. Yeah, nobody really wants to go there, in my opinion. Nobody sensible wants that choice. But the choice of living in a cage and having your beak cracked off and living and sitting in your own feces for the entirety of your existence, yeah, that I know is worse. So I know we're not advancing anything's condition, we're degrading their condition, and we're doing it not necessarily, but because of just some sort of traditional indulgence, and it just makes you people suck. You just fucking suck. And you should get yours. The alien should come here and they should fucking cage you, force feed you, torture you, and then eat you, and then just laugh as they shit you out of their asses.
A fucking piece of shit to ever walk the earth. Animals don't choose when to die. I mean, I suppose a few animals, both as groups and individuals, do commit...
Yes, he said something stupid. Why don't you just say, well, that's kind of a stupid thing to say, because nobody chooses when to die, so that's just dumb.
Suicide, but in general, animals just live until something fucking kills them. It's not their choice. Maybe they die because of bad choices, but they're sure as hell not choosing to die.
Yeah, well, this is the whole point, right? We're all gonna fucking goddamn die, and it really in some ways doesn't goddamn matter, okay? Whenever it comes, we're gonna say, I don't want to, because it looks kind of inconvenient. So it's like the biggest inconvenient truth is the fact that you're gonna fucking die, cunt. And you might as well get it over with now. It's as good a time as any, because the whole time you're going to spend on this planet, you're going to be nothing but a useless piece of fucking fungus. Alright? You really just don't know how to use your brain, and the rest of you just kind of plain smells. So why don't you just do us all a favor and have some sort of happy accident?
God damn, man. I'm going to add another, 10 seconds of this.
Yeah, well, I just do that. I stare and I say, they can't be this stupid. They can't be this cruel. They can't actually think they'd want to trade places. They can't think that they want the same kind of contract shoved in their face by some alien force that just obnoxiously said, well, we have much better ballet than you, so we're going to put you in cages and hack off your beak and fuck with your nuts. I mean, you can't be stupid enough to think you'd want to be treated by the same judgment standards and the same rationalizations, that you'd want to go to a trial where a bunch of rationalizations are used to convict you. fuck.
Make it 20.
Have
Yeah, that was just a waste. But anyway, moving on.
controlled and limited, and ended way before our natural death would occur.
I think you meant way before their natural death would occur. And once again, you know, I've already called you...
No, a natural death. I mean, there's a choice. You die naturally or you die, you know, at the hand of somebody else. That's sort of the distinction. So, a natural death was perfectly appropriate, in my opinion. So, that little bit of verbal policery was totally unnecessary. Shove your little whistle up your ass, and so forth.
Stupid, so I'm just going to be calm about this. The vast majority of livestock are raised to adulthood before they're killed and eaten.
The vast majority of livestock? Where the fuck did you get that from? Huh? Maturity means what? Oh, sexual maturity, you mean? Or physical size maturity. Oh, so we kill them when they're 13. Like to human comparison, or 14 or 15. Oh, I get you now. Yeah, so we kill a bunch of adolescents. Oh, okay, we kill them in adolescence. Like, that's so much better. We torture them first, and then kill them right before they're going to get laid. Oh, that's so much kinder. Oh, yeah, that's such a kinder, gentler approach. Oh, you're such a human being.
Now, if you were to crack open any kind of book, even just a coloring book, you'd probably learn that most animals don't survive to adulthood in the wild.
Well, again, his comparison to the wild was sort of an idiotic thing to do, in my opinion. The real point is what are we doing to them? What's blood is on our hands, and we're accounting for that. Just account for the blood on your hands. I mean, that's all I'm asking you to do. The fact that this asshole wants to say that, oh, natural life is fun, well, that's stupid.
Yeah, so maybe, you know, something like elephants. But no, chickens? I've already done the lengthy head shaking too. I mean, I'm running out of tricks here, but have you considered checking your vitamin B12 levels? It can actually cause a type of neural degeneration.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole B12 thing is kind of silly, you know. I mean, parasites create B12. Microbes. I mean, it's just not a problem, and it's just like part of the lies you people use to say that somehow imply that human beings have been living on meat for ever and ever, when no, they haven't been doing it all that long. And that's just the truth. And they weren't chewing, you weren't chasing, you know, 100,000 years ago, you weren't chasing down squirrels and tearing their fur off and then eating their flesh. Because you can't chew it, you dumb fuck. And you can't get any nutrition out of it. And all the work it would take you to chase the damn fucking squirrel, you'd use all the calories you could possibly absorb from the undigestible complex proteins. So it's just a delusion in your head that this meat thing is some kind of real thing that you really need to do. That's just a lie. A comforting little convenient lie.
And if you get enough folic acid, it'll mask your vitamin B12 deficiency. You should really look into that.
Yeah, well, I would look into your, I would, well, I mean, I know there's no point in making Hannibal Lecter metaphors. Yeah, not in this context. No, don't bother with that.
To look at the whole species and make decisions that benefit the large majority.
Okay, so before it was all wrong for us to impinge upon their precious freedom for all this shit, but now sometimes you just gotta fucking impinge upon their freedom because it's the right thing to do. Okay, I got you.
No, yeah, right. So you don't know the difference between being selfishly motivated and rationally motivated, or reasonably or logically motivated. Like you have to control a population because it's going to destroy an environment, or you know, pollute something or something like that. And you just can't, you know, he's a hypocrite because he makes a distinction between completely unnecessary exploitation and completely necessary management. And you don't think that that's a conspiracy theory. That's a lie the government's selling, like anybody ever has a rational thought about anything. Yeah. Anybody's ever a decent person and just has decent thoughts in their head and just wants the right thing to be the outcome. Oh, nobody ever does that. That's a lie the government's trying to sell you. We're all fucking selfish cunts like this, and that's all there are, is selfish cunts. Oh, yeah, I think we can do better than that.
Sometimes their freedom's important, sometimes they can go fuck themselves freedom-wise. Makes perfect sense.
And
yeah, well, whatever. I don't think that made any sense at all, but whatever. Next.
Species as a whole matters, and individual rights come secondary, we would have to be okay with forcing some humans into painful biomedical experiments.
Oh yeah, once again, humans, animals, it's all the same. We all have rights. So, logically, if an animal...
Look, we have needs, and the needs are qualitative and substantive. They're substantively discernible. You can't just say they don't exist. They're there. The organisms feel. Okay, you want to pretend that doesn't matter, go ahead and pretend it doesn't matter. That somehow your feelings matter and its feelings don't. I'm saying that's logical imbecility. It can't possibly be logically sensible. You can't rationally defend the distinction, so it's an idiotic distinction.
...was to wander into your yard and you tell it to leave and it doesn't, you could have it arrested for trespassing because it would have rights, but you have rights too to your property, and of course you have to have the law.
Okay, so we're going to do social contract stuff we do out of necessity, like the unpleasantness of incarcerating people in cages, and we do it because they violated some other rule that's important to maintain, to protect ourselves. And you're going to compare that to the exploitation of things that never did anything to you, that are victims of their position on the board, never signed a contract to be exploited by you, and you're just going to presume because they're too stupid to argue with you, because they're too stupid to just raise their hand and say, please, leave me the fuck alone. You'd know they would say it if they could, but you're just going to pretend that they would want something else. And you know better.
Enforce these things, and if a bear were to eat you, we could have it charged with murder because that is not cool, right? Because the humans, animals, rights, it's all the same system. No.
Well, obviously, there'd be no deterrent value. But frankly, if it actually worked, if putting a bear in jail, okay, for violation of the code, would actually teach the other bears not to do it, or indicate to the other bears that they really don't want to do that, you don't think we would do it? I'm sure we would arrest bears if it actually worked. If arresting them stopped them from doing something stupid, I'm sure we would do it.
Our system of rights is made for human beings. This whole civilization thing we have...
Oh, well, whatever that is. Again, I don't exist for your silly tribalism and your silly bigotry, okay? That's not how I'm looking at my existence. I exist first and foremost as a sensitive, feeling organism on Earth. I have relatives, the whole fucking biosphere are my ancestors and my nephews, so to speak. And why the fuck would I sit there and decide that I can just abuse them because they're a little dumber than me? I mean, fuck you.
Is for human beings. It doesn't apply to the rest of the nature underpinning our...
Okay, well, whatever. That sounds like a God theory to me. Where was that written on a stone somewhere? Where is there logic that explains that to me? The logic that says somehow we are so distinctly different and so distinctly special that we don't even have to pay attention to the fact that the thing feels. That we can discount anything and everything about them if they don't send us a legal contract written in English in the mail. I mean, if they can't hold up their lawyer in front of us, we're not going to pay attention to any such thing as their condition and what's in their interest. Amazing. But if they're genetically human, we will.
Existence, because they can't abide by its rules.
Or act as forced organs.
Gee, that's just horrible. Just horrible.
Survive or have an improved quality of life.
Irrespective of the overall retardedness of what you're saying, it's also untrue. Like, okay, I'm 33 years old, got a whole body full of organs. Let's assume that they're not terribly damaged from all of the cigar smoking and drinking Everclear, although realistically they probably are. Well...
Good. Yeah, I can go out. Well, at least there's some good news in this video. What, you're going to die soon? Ah, excellent. I hope it's horrible.
Even kidney transplants. Arguably the safest transplant with the best outcomes are measured in success rates of 3 to 5 years. Like, you get a new kidney and you live for another 5 years, it's considered a resounding success.
No, not anymore. I don't know. Where are you reading that? From like 1972? I mean, come on. People are living a long liver transplants, man. There's people living 20 years on a liver transplant now.
But you are not going to live remotely as long as you would have if your original kidneys had functioned. So, well, let's say that one of my kidneys goes to someone, the other to another person, then the liver, the heart, etc., etc. You harvest all of these. Now, how long is it going to extend or improve another life? Even if we're being really unrealistic, each organ might manage 5 years, but...
Well, okay. I think that's bad math, but whatever. You know, you can make the argument. I think it's an idiotic argument myself. I wouldn't bother going there. But the point of the theme of it is this idea of cannibalizing each other. And we can cannibalize each other just as well as we can cannibalize and exploit animals to our advantage to create more human consciousness, if that's what's supposed to be so valuable, because that's what TJ says means success is numbers. So the more number you have, the better you are somehow. Some kind of bullshit like that. So that was TJ's initiation of this idiotic argument that we need more consciousnesses. And the truth is, if consciousnesses are dying now, and we can sustain them even for 5 more years, you know, 7 people sustained for 1 person, it seems like a fair trade, and you can always give them another kidney if you have to, right? But you really won't have to, because it works better. It's better than 5 years.
Probably fucking won't. Not to mention all of the side effects of the immunosuppressants that would be needed by the people with those new organs, which would cause later problems like horrible fucking cancer. You see what I'm saying here? I might have me another...
Well, no, I'm really not seeing it just because there's been so many people that have lived so long on transplants now. So, yeah, I'm not seeing it at all.
40, 50 years of life. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. But those people with organs, they might have a little more life, and it isn't going to be that great. Just shut your mouth.
No, whatever. The point is, if they were all women and they could still have babies, then obviously they could just make more babies then, and that would make everybody who's an idiot happy. Because we're winning the numbers game. But again, this isn't about the numbers game. That was TJ's argument. Alright, so you can't even admit that TJ's original argument is just plain fucking idiotic, that it has nothing to do with the quality of life or even the meaning of something's existence or its match to its environment. Has absolutely nothing to do. How well suited something is to existing has absolutely nothing to do with how populous it is on planet Earth. I mean, there's lots of possums, but you wouldn't want to fucking be one. And there's only a few panda bears, and that doesn't look so goddamn bad. So yeah, it really has nothing to do with success. Is a qualitative argument, not a quantitative argument, and that's where you just doesn't want to play at all because you're an asshole, and you're just taking advantage. That's all. Yeah. Okay, enough of that.
You can tell a lot from the way a person argues their position. Here we have the amazing atheist stoop to a vulgar display of mockery, in which he shoves animal parts into his mouth.
Once again, you should probably be thanking him, because I rarely see something so persuasive in making a person considering being a vegetarian, because that shit is disgusting to watch.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess the argument that the suffering makes it taste so good, that was, just a little bit added glibness, though. So that probably, any revulsion you might have had, you might have just loved the idea of, oh yeah, let's revel in this suffering. Let's layer on some more of it, because we're so it just proves how special we are, how much suffering we can cause. Yeah.
Let me see if I can do something similar.
Yeah, well, the point of his argument is that, here we are on planet Earth, people are trying to do reasonable things and trying to argue in behalf of reasonable behavior, and everybody's making mocking videos, doing insidious clown nonsense, and that's really not going to make for a better world. Is somebody has to do something serious once in a while. This isn't going to cure cancer, you see. This kind of behavior, if scientists did this, we'd really be in... Oh, Thunderfoot, I forgot about that. Well, yeah, it's okay. So I was going to say we'd really be in trouble, but we are really in trouble. That's the whole point, right? The whole fucking thing is crashing. It's all going to crumble into little pieces and all that. I mean, that part, I hope it's on video so I can watch some of it, because that'll be so cool. Yeah, that whole... be a lovely revenge cookie. Oh, they're finally getting what they deserve. Yeah, I will revel in that.
Oh, so tasty.
Yeah, whatever.
In an attempt to...
It's been funny. Not quite funny.
eating animals.
How dare you respond to my oh-so-precious moral objections with mockery?
Gee, that was really good. Nah, let's just go to the end.
These grotesque close-up shots are meant to antagonize animal defenders into acting out of emotion, rather than respond in a reasoned, mature manner.
Oh, you vegans just like your reasoned, mature Watchamahooza because not a single one of you could win a fist fight.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, right. That isn't, but go ahead, just keep playing that argument, but, the chicks are hotter, and the guys do look better, the ones I've seen anyway, so, and the fact is being a vegan or vegetarian doesn't necessarily mean you're healthier. I mean, frankly, you could just eat potato chips all day. There, you're vegan as fuck, but you're probably not going to be that healthy.
I mean, I'm not any kind of badass, but I would literally take on...
Well, you're kind of pretending to be now, aren't you? Yes, you are. Yes, that's what... Now that you got your eye back. Yeah, you seem like you're, bulking up for it. Because you gotta be able to self-defend yourself against all the people you fucked over. That's probably what it's for, right? For your own safety. You're hiding in some little hovel in Kansas from all the people you fucked over, because they're coming to get you. God, I wonder if I could help them in some way.
Any number of vegans in a fight and be fully confident in winning. Just gonna throw that out there.
Okay, I'll take the challenge. If you feel like traveling to New Jersey, let's go at it, fuckhead. Because I really wouldn't mind trying to get your eye out of your skull and eating it. I really wouldn't. Yeah, I really wouldn't mind making the patch permanent. Yeah, I really wouldn't. I really wouldn't. It's just an honest truth. I wouldn't really mind if I was allowed to take out all my fucking anger at the disgusting and humiliating behavior of these fucking humans. I would like it.
When a person's intellectual justifications for eating animals are so thin, it is not unexpected to see such cheap tactics utilized.
I don't know, we're animals, and as animals we eat stuff.
Oh geez, so now we're going to get all intelligent again. It's brain funk. See, I mean, sorry about the pause, but you're just saying, what we have to argue that, conversations about ethics and what we're doing to each other and to the planet and to the animals and to the fucking universe, what we're doing to our own dignity, a conversation about, are we disgracing ourselves? Are we pooing our fucking pants? We can't have that at all. It's just not allowed because you buffoons are going to have to fart on it. Fart, 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 fart. Fartity fart, 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 fart.
Of its other animals. Seems like going around asking people to justify that shit when it's just...
Why shouldn't they justify that shit? I mean, jeebus. Blood, guts, screaming. Something with blood, guts, and screaming in it should fucking be justified. I mean, frankly... Alright? I mean, if it's just like knitting and stitches and, you know, there might be a missed loop or something, or, you know, whatever they call that, a missed... some kind of cliche word for that. Yeah, okay, who cares? There's no blood and guts, no screaming.
What we do, that seems pretty cheap to me. Like,
Yeah, well, whatever. To you, the average, glib, selfish cunt playing human games with what? The mentality of a 13-year-old. Oh, okay.
hey, let me just ask you to justify shit. Make you go to all the trouble of justifying this shit that we as animals...
Excellent, excellent. Yes, I think we all should have to justify fucking everything. That would sort of make sense. What's your justification for keep laying eggs and no nest? You know, keep expecting the next generation to clean up the messes you keep making. Yeah, there's lots of things to justify here. Why not? Let's have fucking mega justification cleansing.
naturally fucking do. I mean, that's cheap. You ask a question, then the other person has to, like, do backflips to justify themselves to you.
But see, don't you realize that things that are right don't require a backflip to justify? So if you're actually doing something that's not stupid and idiotic, it's usually pretty easy to explain, look, it's not stupid and idiotic because, you see, and then you're out. It's like if you're innocent of a crime, you know, it's usually pretty easy just to say, hey, I wasn't there. You have no evidence because I didn't do it. Fuckhead.
Because you're an asshole.
But it is disappointing.
Yes, true enough.
If everyone on Earth became a vegetarian, livestock would be fucked. Fucked.
So he's kind of making fun of like gayness and stuff, and he's the guy that's gay, you know, which is kind of funny. Well, he's not gay. He's anthropomorphic or something. I mean, he'll fondle anything's penis.
You think slaughtering them for their meat was mean? Try driving them to fucking extinction. That's real mean.
Oh look, more mockery. Always a sign of a well-reasoned argument supported by evidence. Here we are being presented with a claim that
all right,
the extinction
Mr.
of
Nag.
the species we have created, through thousands of years of careful breeding, is ultimately much worse than our continued present use.
True Blood just got done downloading, and it has vampires and shit, and you're tedious, so have a nice day.
Okay, so way to deal with the argument. Thank you very much. You suck. I hate you glib motherfuckers. Get what you deserve. Get buried under highways of glib. Get buried under, you know, get chopped up in the glib blenders, and whatever glibness can do to ruin your life, yeah, do you ever deserve a big fat pile of insensitivity, rudeness, selfishness? If somebody can selfishly just fuck you the fuck over, yeah, I can't wait. Man, you people suck. You just suck. Colossally suck.